What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another Monday morning Comically Boston podcast, where on Mondays we talk about the weekly nerdy news, and this is Comically Boston 247. Wow, almost at 250 of these goddamn things. Comically Boston Breakdown episode 248 will be coming on Wednesday for Daredevil Born Again episode 5 and possibly 6, maybe a joint episode. Maybe I'll break them down individually, but haven't made up my mind yet for that. But today we are talking the weekly nerdy news, and the main topics of today is there's some casting rumors that might be happening that have some people excited and, you know, have the brain juices brainstorming, you know what I mean? Some released images for Ironheart, some leaked set photos of Daredevil Born Again Season 2 that's been filming in New York and maybe filming elsewhere. I don't know. But we'll be talking towards the end of this video about some spoilers, potential spoilers for Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. But we don't know, like, I don't know how Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again ends. So is it a spoiler if I don't know what this means, if I'm just speculating? If it's just speculation, I don't find it to be spoilers myself, but you might, so I'll let you know when we're about to get into that topic. But let's jump right on into it, shall we? We have some posters to talk about, and then we'll get into the juiciness. But we'll kick it off with some new Sinners posters. The first one here from Ryan Coogler's Sinners, coming out April 18th. Can't wait for this one. This looks like there's a guitar in the middle and maybe some vampire eyes at the top there. And it looks like, I don't remember her name, but B-15 from Loki. It seems like she's in this movie, and she's with one of the Michael B. Jordans. And then Haley Steinfeld's character is going to be with the other Michael B. Jordan. And then it looks like the barn or house that they're in is going to be set on fire, Dance with the Devils. I don't know. I mean, we still haven't seen a whole lot of vampire-ness from this movie, and he's like keeping that a little bit secret. And that fascinates me because, you know, I've heard that this is a vampire movie, but like, I haven't really seen a whole lot of vampire, like what this movie's going to be about. All I know is that there's two Michael B. Jordans and Haley Steinfeld, and I'm in. You know what I'm saying? But here's the second poster from Ryan Coogler's Sinners with Michael B. Jordan, both of them. Yeah, the cast looks familiar, but other than Haley Steinfeld and B-15, and I know his name, but I'm not willing to say it wrong. Good cast in this movie. I can't wait to see where or how this movie unfolds, you know what I mean? But a couple weeks out for that, April 18th, are you going to be going to see Ryan Coogler's Sinners? Maybe a movie you will be going to see if you have some family and some friends, or maybe if you just loved this movie as a kid. But the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake got a few new posters, and they're kind of like Disney crossover posters. And this one obviously is for Snow White, right? The apple, Snow White. Not just another bad apple, and you got Stitch biting the apple. Then this is probably a Cinderella one, if the shoe fits, and the glass slipper, and Stitch is trying on Cinderella's slipper. This one is Who Invited This Guest in, what is it? Isn't that Beauty and the Beast, right? Be our guest, be our guest. Wow, that just, it goes to show what Disney music can do to you, because I haven't seen that movie since I was probably 5. It's been 2 decades, and just from reading Who Invited This Guest and looking at, you know, what this could be and thinking Disney, be our guest, be our... Stupid song triggers me. Fuck. Screw Beauty and the Beast. On to the next Lilo and Stitch poster. This last one is Aladdin, which I fucked with Aladdin mostly because of Robin Williams being the genie, right? Who doesn't? But yeah, Stitch. Maybe this is a more than a live-action remake. Maybe this is a live-action gonna cross over with other live-action Disney movies. I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. Live-action Lilo and Stitch, May 23rd. That's got to be, what, Memorial Day weekend? What do we think? What are we gonna go see that? Are we gonna not see that? Is that a wait for home? Probably for me, that's gonna be a wait for home, but I don't know. My buddy Langone and his daughter might go to see that. Who knows? Now, another movie for the kids and for the Disney lovers out there, Snow White remake, from the people that brought you Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Okay, March 20th, so this is already out. Snow White, it was starring Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, and CGI dwarfs. the behind the scenes of this movie is so sloppy and messy that I was like, oh god, this is gonna rub people the wrong way. People already don't love Rachel Zegler, and it's, yeah, just her own comments have had people poo-poo her, and you know what I mean? But the last time I looked, when it had 64 reviews, it was at a 45% Rotten Tomatoes score, and I'm almost too scared to look and go see what it's at now. We're just gonna move right on past it. The next movie poster is for Minecraft movie, and this is a Jack Black is Steve Minecraft poster coming out April 4th, and this movie honestly is growing on me. I'm like, I think this is gonna be funny. Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Minecraft. I mean, there is, like they've been saying in interviews, there isn't really a story to Minecraft. You kind of just build and create and just take away blocks and put blocks and build, you know, like, it's just a creative outlet. Like, I just started playing Minecraft the other day for the first time, ironically, and I sat there for like, I was like, I'll do this for like 10 minutes. I sat there for like 2 hours, and it was just therapeutic, you know, the music's playing, it's just soothing. There was no stress, right? Like, I wasn't like, you know, losing and fucking rage quitting and throwing my friggin' controller at the screen. I was just going around with my little pickaxe and just smacking blocks, you know, like, it was therapeutic. Now, granted, I haven't gone back and played it since. I think I got my itch out of the way. I was like, I wonder what this is like. Built a little house, built a little farm, and just smacked some blocks. Now I'm like, I've done all the block smacking I can do for this year. I'm gonna come back to it another time. Talk about another video game that I will be replaying very soon so that I can have it fresh in my brain for the start of The Last of Us Season 2 coming out April 13th. What an incredible show and cast, and I can't wait to see what they do in Season 2. But the game, man. Last of Us Part 1 is a phenomenal game, but Last of Us Part 2 is maybe one of the best games ever created, but also one of the most controversial because of the decisions they made. Some people hate it, but some people really love the decisions they made because it makes for such a compelling story. And I mean, when I played it at first, I was pissed. I was like, how could they do my boy Joel like that? And then by the end, now months later, I've played the game multiple times. I think it's a phenomenal decision. I think Abby's a tremendous character. But I'm curious to see what people in the show think, you know, and people that haven't played the games, what they think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in a couple weeks when that comes out. But stay tuned for The Last of Us Season 2 episode breakdowns coming to the channel soon. Now, talking about some potential castings, which I found very interesting because Colin Farrell has been having his name thrown about for potential new castings since Daniel Craig's name got dropped out of the running for the Sargent Rock movie with director or writer Luca Guadagnino, who did like Challengers, I believe, and he was in talks to have Daniel Craig play Sergeant Rock, but now it seems that the new Frontrunner is Colin Farrell, and people are like, what, but he already plays a role in the DC, and I'm sure it won't matter because his role as Colin Farrell's Penguin is so buried under makeup that it shouldn't matter what his face looks like. Even if the characters were on screen together at the same time, they should theoretically look like two completely different characters. And Colin Farrell's a good enough actor that I could see both of these things happening. But that's the newest DC rumor going around. But let's jump into some Marvel news, shall we, to end out today's show. And then we'll finish with just like a casual what you watching topic. So stay tuned for that. But jumping into some Marvel stuff here, we got some new images from Ironheart released, and you got Riri Williams' face here in the mask from front on, and then you have the mask closed with the yellow eyes, and it does look like a practical suit. Like, this doesn't look CGI, and I think that's all the better for the show. And, you know, maybe they've been sitting on this show so much for the last couple years, just really polishing that VFX when they have time. And I wouldn't be mad at that either. But this show was, like, kind of ready to go back in, like, 2022. And it's been 3 years, and we're just getting it. That makes me nervous. But also, they've had time to adjust whatever they needed to. You know what I mean? Here's two more shots of Riri Williams, but from the side this time, with the mask open and the mask closed. But the suit looks pretty good, man. The colors, I mean, I'm curious to learn more about this show, see an actual official trailer for this, but who knows? more potential castings and news that was going around over the last couple weeks. I talked about it in a Weekly Nerdy News probably a month ago or so, maybe when the Oscars was, that Cynthia Erivo of Wicked, who played Elphaba, she wants to play Storm Aurora Monroe in the MCU. And just recently, a new famous person with a great voice and showed off her acting chops as well, not in a movie as successful as Wicked, but with Keke Palmer in One of Them Days, she was really, really funny, and I actually really liked that movie. SZA wants to play Storm, and this is her new thing that she was talking about and was going around Twitter, that people were like, SZA wants to play Storm, and she's not only did she say she wanted to play Storm, she wants to do a gnarly origin story, and she was talking about Storm's comics, and I don't know if she's an actual fan of this shit or not, but I wouldn't be mad at SZA or Cynthia Erivo, but even if those two do a phenomenal job, Halle Berry's my Storm. You know, she just is. Even though she didn't really get to be Aurora Monroe and be the Storm from the comics, or even the Storm from the X-Men 97 TV show. That Storm's badass as well. I still think Halle Berry's my Storm. I just see Storm and hear Storm, and I'm like, yeah, Halle Berry's fine ass. I mean, Halle Berry's my Catwoman too, and that movie sucks. So, I mean, it is what it is. Moving on, though, to Daredevil, we've been seeing these weird but great artworks around the city, and they normally cut to it in, the BB reports, and you just cut to, people of New York, and it's these graffiti arts are on the wall. And every time they cut away from it, it's always quick and you might miss it. But I didn't talk about it in the last episode, so I want to talk about a couple of these. But this one here, right after the episode 3, when White Tiger died, they showed this art in episode 4. And it's White Tiger's mask with 2 angel wings, but on the angel wings are tiger eyes. And then there's a king with a halo, like a crown with a halo above that. And then underneath it, it says Vigilante Justice in red. And at the end of episode 4, spoilers for Daredevil Born Again if you guys haven't seen it. At the end of episode 4, we see Muse has been draining people's blood. So is that red in Vigilante Justice made not from red paint, but from blood? I mean, it does look a little darker than red paint. You know what I'm saying? It could be, but we haven't had anything like that confirmed. But you can see here that he's been tagging his work Muse, and it's kind of like M-U-S, and the E is kind of like a broken American flag. I mean, kind of. I don't know. Maybe that's just how I'm seeing that. But, it's not even legible like Muse or a signature. It's just kind of 4 letters placed, and it just kind of makes up his name. But you can definitely see that this is right under the White Tiger mural art there. But now that we know season 2 is filming in New York, there was some people walking around during the day in New York and seeing these graffitis and taking pictures of them. One of them being Fuck Fisk tucked behind some garbage bins, and people are probably trying to hide the art for during the day so that when they shoot at night it's still there, but they don't have to redo the art every day. This next one is a middle finger that says Fisk you, Fisk you. This next one says no more martial law. So that's not what's going on currently in Daredevil Born Again. So you're telling me maybe by the end of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, New York will be at martial law? That could be crazy. The whole city's rioting, going nuts, going off of the martial law. Here's graffiti of the Empire State Building with frowns and X's over the eyes, like New York has died. I don't know. This could be getting crazy, but these last 3 images are what is by far the craziest leaked images from the set of Daredevil Born Again. And no, it is not the black suit. There was some black suit photos going around, but I thought the quality of those images were very poor. It was also at night, he's in the black Daredevil suit and he's laying in water. Not the best of shot image, but if you wanted to hear about that, that's what it was. But these images blew my mind, because then it made me start speculating, where could this be, where could they go? And clearly here you see Matt standing on a curb in one of those hidden jackets, trying to hide his outfit. And then you see Karen next to him, who doesn't even look like Karen because she's got this red wig on that almost looks like that reddish wig that like Scarlett Johansson wore the first time we saw her in what, Iron Man 2? But you can also see the director Benson or Moorhead right next to Matt there. Cool stuff there. But Karen with the red wig is absolutely nuts, and she's like smiling and like looking at people taking pictures. So she's like, all right, I'm back for season 2. So we know that Karen doesn't die in season 1. That's nice. But why would Karen not be repping her own hair and be wearing this weird wig? And then this last image made me think and confirm my suspicions, because her wearing this red wig and this like leather all black outfit and sunglasses, and Matt wearing this trench coat and sunglasses, and this is the daytime, I immediately went, oh, these two are on the run and they're missing and they're trying not to be found type of thing. And maybe there was also a leaked image of a poster that was like a lost poster, like of a dog, like, you know what I mean, they put like on a wall or on a phone pole, they say, oh, lost dog, call this number type of thing. There was a sign on the streets of New York that said missing persons Matt Murdock. So maybe by the end of season 1, Matt Murdock has disappeared and maybe has gone out to this maybe could be California, and we're in I think it's what, Sacramento or San Francisco, where Karen is supposed to be right now during season 1. So maybe Karen is on the run as well, and they're both getting hunted down, and they both gotta hide, because this right here looks like two people that are hiding to me, and not just hiding from the press, like their character outfits are hiding from something. And maybe this goes back to my theory that Foggy's alive, and if they're going from the comics and they're trying to do this story that Foggy's fake death and he's still alive, maybe Foggy's in witness protection, and because he's in witness protection and he doesn't want to be like in the comics, they gotta come find him and get him out of there. And it is confirmed that Foggy will also be there for season 2. I really hope it's not just like flashback memories like for season 3 of Daredevil, where Matt was having memories of his father and Fisk and it was all in his head. It worked, but it's not the greatest, you know? Like, you know what would have been greater? Not killing fucking Foggy in the first episode. Like, made a great story, but we want to see them together. We want to see Nelson, Murdock, and Paige together. We don't want to see them fighting and broke up again or dead. What? Like, you're gonna bring them back just to kill them? You evil sons of bitches. But comment below your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Maybe you're from New York. Maybe you're seeing some of this crazy leaked stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But also comment below, what are you watching recently, what I've been watching, and what you've been watching. I just started Raising Kanan season 4. Is like a Power spinoff. I've been watching that. I just finished this Daredevil rewatch, so all the breakdowns for the first 3 seasons of Netflix Daredevil are on the channel, as well as in that Netflix season 3 breakdown, I do like a brief 5-6 minutes on the Defenders season, and that show's pretty decent. I still got to get back to Jessica Jones season 2. I want to get back into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now that Jamie Jurack in Love in the Time of Hydra is back, now that that season's off of a mid-season break. But I've also been watching Invincible. And Invincible season 3, season 4, season 3 I think it was really good and also dark as hell. And I was thinking about covering it on the channel, but I had a lot going on, and I was like, I kind of want to have some shows that are just for me, just for like some off winding down time, and Invincible was one of those for me, and I really like that show. It's just dark but also really good story and funny at times but dark, so like you got this mix of both worlds. It's really good. I like it. Speaking of dark and funny in the mix of both worlds, White Lotus, I've been watching. White Lotus season 1 was chaos, and the cast is incredible, and the story, you don't even really know why you're there, but it's still phenomenal, and you're like, wow, what a great, funny show. And the first season's only 6 episodes. Second season is, first season they're in Hawaii for 6 episodes. Second season, they're in Italy for 7 episodes. And that cast is like Theo James, F. Murray Abraham, and Michael Imperioli, who was Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos. F. Murray Abraham was the voice of Khonshu in Moon Knight. There's some women in there. Jennifer Coolidge is back from season 1. She's like one of the only people that returned from season 1, and they're like now at the other White Lotus suite in Italy. And then I believe season 3 they're in Thailand, I want to say. But season 3 is ongoing right now, so I've been trying to catch up to get to season 3. And White Lotus has been really fun. But comment below, what are you watching? What are some things that you've been watching recently? And if you're watching anything good that you would want to recommend, drop those down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and comment below your thoughts on today's episode and anything that I talked about that you might be interested in or that you want to talk more about. I'm totally down to discuss and have audience interact with me and interact with my audience. I really love you guys, and if you made it this far on the video, I highly appreciate you. If you'd like to follow my other social medias, links down in the description below. If you've made it this far, and if you could be so kind to support the channel, the best way to do that is commenting, liking this video, hitting that bell so you don't miss future videos and you get the notifications, and subscribing if you haven't already. That's the biggest way to help. I really appreciate everybody that's dropped by, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.